know, bitch, be on. Sit down.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? COK is the game and trouble is the name. So I get asked a lot of questions like, why do you do your videos always sitting down? Well, that's because I'm not wearing any pants. I also get asked a lot of questions about defense. Now, in that video that you saw before this, I was double super rallied after that. Now, I was defending against the point, and if you saw correctly, I ended up eating 4 marches with one of my marches. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to do that. But first, I'm going to show you guys a little tip right here. A lot of people ask a lot of questions about these pluses. Now, if you notice, whenever people set rallies, there's a bunch of pluses next to them. This shows whenever somebody's reinforcing, and if you set a false rally, that whenever the avatar picture is like this, they won't be able to notice in a quick false rally that someone is reinforcing. So it kind of catches people slipping. It's nothing to do with an Illuminati or anything like that. So, but anyways, that's a real quick tip. Now, on defense, a lot of things matter. Your dragon wards matter. You got fortification. This one, you've got. Whoops. You got face the battle. This one, which I have, a very good one. Counterattack. This one's a very good one. If you don't have all the way up to face the battle, this one's a really good one. So you're wanting to look for archer attack, archer damage, defense while defending, attack while defending, defense, attack, stuff like that. Now, this dragon is a godsend. This dragon right here is the one that you want to use if you have it decently leveled out. I've got it maxed out because I found out some things about it. Troop attack 15% when defending the castle. Troop defense 25% when defending the castle. Attack the first 10 rows of the enemy army. You've got hospital capacity, and you've got reduced enemy archer attack by 25%. That's a huge help whenever you are fighting huge castles with huge archer attacks. So yeah, and then you've got this right here, which is archer attack, archer defense. And then if you've got a P6 wonder, you got siege engine attack, siege engine defense, damage dealt by infantry, cavalry, and archer plus 2%. That's a pretty good ward right there. Then you've got your equipment. Your equipment's going to want to be well-rounded. You're going to want to constantly think about defense and attack, infantry crit damage, stuff like that. That's going to be very important. Your dragon wards are going to be very important. Whole troops defense, whole troops attack, attack while defending, archer attack, infantry attack, defense while defending. Again, you know, I use level 25 whenever I'm defending in thrones and stuff like that, and mineral vein points. I use that whenever I'm shielded and I want to defend against monster castles. I usually use level 30 to send my march, and then I use level 15 to hold my march inside the castle because it gives a huge reinforcement, troop defense, and troop attack. So it helps out a lot. And I have also reinforcement damage to archers, which isn't very high, but it works out a lot. As far as heroes go, you're gonna want to go with, you know, a decent hero, level 43 or higher is what you're gonna want to use. And you're gonna want to use, you know, like gold equipment, stuff that has emphasis, archer, infantry, cavalry, stuff like that, because that's what you're gonna reinforce with the most is archer, infantry, and then cavalry. Those are the priorities in that order. Cavalry, siege, archer attack, infantry attack, archer attack, cavalry attack, archer attack, infantry attack, cavalry defense, basic archer attack, stuff like that. You look damage received by infantry minus 2%. Whenever you look at this hero, this is the one that I keep on my wall at all times. You know, she's got a really good. I chose these two pieces of the Queen's equipment, Christina's equipment, for a specific reason. Damage received by infantry, 2%, -2%. Damage received by infantry, -2%. That's -4%. So it's very good equipment for defense. You're gonna, well-rounded is the way to go, you know. But you got to look at these little things that help out a lot. Lord skills, the Lord skills, the hero skills. This is my defense hero that I send for defenses against other castles. So if you'll notice here, I had some points left over. I used it in cavalry. You know why? Because cavalry is much faster. They help defend a little bit. So if you're in a pinch and you want to send a quick march, cavalry will help out a lot. So if you add a little bit of cavalry, that helps out. As far as my castle goes, I go basically the same way. Just like this. Monster defense. You'll notice in the battle report, I only had a 20% attack and defense troop bonus on, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Also, the stats in the mineral vein are kind of messed up, but I really wasn't tripping off of it, because to me, if my stats are messed up, then other people's stats should be messed up too. So I felt like, you know, it was an even battle. He probably had about 720 archer attack, so whenever I'm outside of mineral vein, I know that I can get like at least a 610 archer attack with a 20% buff, something like that. So my archer attack, my stats were really low compared to what they should have been. Whenever you go into college, outside of troop attack and troop defense, these loopholes are very important. Just like this, loophole battlements. I don't really focus on traps too much, but the loopholes and battlements are a huge deal, and soon I will finish these all up. They're very important. They're very good. You got two sections with them right here down at the bottom: precise loophole, precise battlements. This battlefield treatment, a lot of people ask a lot of questions about this. Now, whenever you have turn wounded soldiers or kill wounded soldiers when attacking castles, this negates it a little bit. From what I understand, this negates it a little bit and turns your supposedly dead soldiers that are gonna be dead into just wounded. So it helps out a little bit. And then of course, you know, you've got the attack and defense and HP. HP is very important. Defending, attacking, all that stuff. You're gonna want to have high HP. So yeah, that's the gist of how to attack and defend. You're gonna want to constantly, you know, keep in mind that not just archer attack is a huge deal. It's your infantry, it's your cavalry. You have a layer in your castle as well. You know, if you notice in a lot of people's castles, they train infantry and archers heavily, not just because they use the most of them, but also because if your castle is attacked, those are the ones that are going to be doing the majority of the killing. So you're going to want to think about a layer in your castle. Now, I typically have over 1 million of these, but I lost a bunch of them in the battle that I was double super rallied. But if you look, you know, a lot of these low level troops I had out of my castle. I was reinforcing another castle with them, that way they wouldn't get me burned. That's also a thought, you know, like if you're being rallied, you want to get rid of all the low level troops that you have. So you want to go out of your castle like this. Say I'm getting rallied right now, I would go like this. Sort by level. And I would clear all, and I would go down here to the very bottom, and I would just boom. I would get rid of all these troops right here, because for one, the only reason that I have all these troops is so I can do rainbow rallies. And for those of you that know what rainbow rallies are or don't know what rainbow rallies are, I do have a video on it. You can look in my past videos about it. So I'm not going to explain that right now, but all of these are troops that are basically disposable. I'll send those troops just to basically take the brunt of the force if I'm doing a rainbow rally. But if I'm being rallied, I don't want them in my castle. So what I'll do is I'll send them out. And I'll send them out that way my higher level troops will take the battle, and instead of my lower level troops filling up the hospitals and my higher level troops dying after a second rally, they will, you know, fill up the hospitals. Now if you look here, I had a huge defense, you know. I had like 4 or 5 castles defending me, like they were all shielded. I instructed them all to come, put everything in defense, come and shield, and send me all infantry and archers. So if you look here, I can't share the battle report, so I'm gonna show it here. I'm gonna show the whole thing here. But if you look here, my archer attack isn't too terribly high. His archer attack was almost 700. I think that he would have had a 720 if everything was working right, and because I know that I would have had a 620. So that's like 80 points off, 80 or 100 points off. Something's going on in Mineral Vein. So if you look here, they sent all heroes, all dragons, infantry, and archers. That's basically all that they sent. They didn't send any cavalry, any siege engines, nothing. And then you look at my castle. This is my defense. Now, things would have went a lot differently if I wouldn't have had 4.4 million troops in the portal. Almost all of my troops were in the portal, all my good fighting troops. So all that I had left was basically, you know, some scragglers left in my castle. Now that's where power comes in important. You want to keep a layer in your castle, that way you can defend. Now that was a lesson on my part. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to go up to 8 million infantry and 8 million archers. That way I can just defend all the time, you know. And I've always got something to put into a portal, and I can still defend from my end. So yeah, you look down here, all of their reinforcements really didn't do too much, but it was a heavy attack. This was a very strong attack that they did on me. And then this one right here, was a lot weaker. This one came in after the defense failure. I was able to heal a few of my troops, but I wasn't able to heal all of them, so I still was able to defend very well. Looking down here, they sent all infantry and archers again. Boom. And then you see they didn't have very many reinforcements in my castle, so that was because they hit basically at the same time. Like they hit within seconds of each other, like, and everybody was so impressed by it that, I mean, it was ridiculous. Now just after the rallies hit, I gotta give a shout out to my king, man. I was hollering for him to come help me out. Right as the rallies hit, he jumped in. I looked at their castles because they set another super rally on me, and right as I looked at their castles, I saw 4 lions heading towards them, and boom, they were all burning at once. It was crazy. It was crazy. He did an excellent job. He came in at the last minute and just tore them up. I don't know if I would have been able to handle another super rally by those guys just sitting there, you know. So shout out to my king, King Elajmi. He does a really excellent job. No better king. I think I was so happy that he was able to come in there and help me out, and it was amazing. Give a like and a subscribe if you like what you see. I've worked really hard. I know that I haven't been coming out with very much lately. Happy holidays to everybody. Great support by all of my friends. Nothing better than having a good group around me. This is why I do these videos. This is why I work with you guys. This is why I want to help with you know, everybody. I enjoy making all these good friends that I've made in this game. It's not the game, the game's not the reason that I stay. The reason that I stay is because of you guys. You guys are great. So thank you guys. Please like and subscribe, and peace.
Check.